grandmas, if everyone agreed to say I'm sorry or excuse me when it counted, the world would be a little less of a 7-billion person frat party, hurtling through space. What are you talking? I recycle, okay? So you need to listen to what I say. I stand up for grandmas, and I recycle. I teach the kid I watch to be a good person. I clean up the steaming pile of digested pellets my dog produces twice a day. And it's for these reasons that I believe I deserve a goddamned seat on the train. And they don't... Excuse me, I said, standing in front of a 30-something guy. God, how dare he live that long? With his legs spread so far it looked like he was doing some sort of post-vasectomy physical therapy exercise. As a woman, I am used to this. So I gestured to the seat and said, "Excuse me." Again, nothing. I checked, and he wasn't wearing headphones. I actually leaned around his head and looked. The man, like the 3 or 4 others taking up multiple seats on the train car, are the center of our universe from sun up, and never once considering the lady with the stroller, the World War II veteran stooped over a cane, or the child riding home from school. We all go about our ride, politely calling them out on their selfishness, holding grocery bags and diaper bags and the weight of all our frustration, seething. In that moment, something became crystal clear to me. Seething doesn't help anyone, but sitting on a dude sure is satisfying. I waited a moment. He leisurely stretched his calf, turned away from me, and then I sat on him. "Excuse me," I said, using my bony ass to crush his side of a horror movie. I have never seen anyone react so quickly to get away from it. There was terror, then disgust, and then anger. I took out my book and turned to him. "Thank you," I said, and then smiled like Kathleen Turner in Serial Mom. It would have been rude otherwise. To say that women are socialized differently is an understatement. I can't remember a time in my formative years when I wasn't too loud, too big, too anything for every particular circumstance in my life, and my parents constantly told me to be quiet. Yeah, I made too much noise when I walked, laughed too loudly, I weighed too much. I listened to them, and over time I became a person who was afraid to speak up for herself, a woman who was too... I took up too much space at my thinnest, a 127-pound ghost of myself. I internalized 1,000 voices that weren't mine, and they dictated whether or not I advocated for myself for far too long. So the time came for me to sit on a guy. "Excuse me," I said to the teenager whose backpack was taking up the only unoccupied seat. He raised his eyebrows and laughed, and then started talking to another teenager. That day, the child I watched had diaper rash. I got kid poop on me, and I held her as she cried for her parents. I had nothing left to give. I said, "Excuse me" again, and I handed his bag to him, and then kicked him as I was sitting down. I said, "Excuse me" again, and waited and handed his bag to him, and then I kicked him as I was sitting down. "Thank you. Thank you." I took my seat and smiled with my voice. This was my new voice. This was a new voice, though. One I'd found deep within myself, coming straight up from the cockles of my bowels, from the bowels of my cockles, from my cockly bowels, my cabowels. It was also a new smile, one I'd only seen. The kid didn't say anything, neither did his friend. In the last 12 months, I have sat on 12 men. At first, I was shocked when no one said anything to me. I was wholeheartedly prepared for a rush hour fistfight. But the most that happened was a man violently pressing his knee into mine in a passive-aggressive remake of the final arm wrestling battle in Over the Top. If I had to guess, I would say that that most three-seaters have a vestigial conscience that flickers briefly when a strange, tired-looking woman is sitting on half their leg. The ones that don't maybe at least had a grandma who would have backhanded them if she saw them slouching around, not giving up their seat to a pregnant lady or elderly person. Lately, I've been getting bolder. I bought a van, and I've filled it with shackles and rods, and I'm ready to go nuts, excusing myself and then hurling my body onto the empty seat like a boxcar hobo, throwing a bindle onto a moving freight train. In the past, excuse me, was usually a whisper that left my body, excuse me, while I prepared to make myself smaller. In the new, excuse me, there's no grinding my teeth while juggling for bags, no passive discomfort while dreaming of the alternative universe where I advocate for the space I deserve. Let's sit down together.